Hello everyone. We have in this lecture we are going to take lesson number 28.16. We have found that martial law topic was little bit skipped and it was requirement to cover it in more detail. We are extending that 28.15 to 28.16. So in this lecture we are going to take what exactly is that martial law. This is present under the article 34. This is something called as a martial law. What is that? We'll see. See, there are twofold. There are two main information related to this martial law. One is that it is not defined within the constitution. What will happen under this martial law? We have seen as per the normal meaning of martial law what happened, that military takes over the government in case of any crisis or any war kind of things. Military takes over the government and they rule. Okay, so in India, as per the constitution, this martial law has not been defined, and other aspect is that never had mentioned law in never had a martial law in place has been implemented within India. So it has been never implemented. Okay, it is never implemented yet. So so why this constitutional maker have inserted this part? What was the need of that? Why they inserted this martial law? So expert says it means suspension of. What is meaning when it is not defined? What constitutional maker think about that? Expert says it means suspension of ordinary law will be suspended, and rule of military tribunals will take place. And during this period fundamental right will be suspended. Okay, so member of armed forces are never trained. The what happened, like member of armed forces are never trained like police to control mob, so they know only fire. Understood? Like police, whenever the police training happen, so they used to teach about ethics and all also. Okay, ethics and all to understand the mob version. Like ultimately police can't fire on the mob and all because they are Indians only. If they are raising voice or raising any violence against the police also, they have to understand like they are deprived of something, and we can't use that much of a strictness against all in the Indian people. Okay, so that's why there are different kind of training is given to the police and all. But when we talk about the trainings related to the military has a complete different training. They have never been taught of thing called mercy. Okay, they no mercy. They have only taught to fire or kill. Okay, so that kind of training is given to that. So now there was question that who will decide when martial law will be implemented, and how does it come in democracy? In democracy, is there any uh, place of this martial law, and who will decide when this martial law will come into existence? Constitutional expert says that whenever it will happen, the decision or enactment will only be done by the political dispensation, and parliament can only decide. Whatever the decision will be taken, the decision should be taken by the parliament, and that is, it means like it should be through the political mean should be followed, and then only this martial law will be implemented as per the expert. It is not mentioned under the constitution, it is just by the expert vision they are telling. Okay, and in the article 35, uh, it's mentioned that legislation to give effect to the fundamental right, to make fundamental right effective, only parliament has the power to make laws. writ jurisdiction under Article 32 by the Supreme Court cannot refuse, because it is the protection of fundamental right of only fundamental related to that. And writ jurisdiction under Article 226 for the High Court, that they can refuse and can issue a writ only for against the fundamental right, but also legal rights as well. Okay, so these are types of two jurisdiction that we have already discussed. I have just gone through it, that whatever we have discussed. Okay, so this was all about in this lecture. Okay, thank you.